Do you ever wonder what sets high achievers apart from the rest? What if I told you that the key to their success isn't just talent or luck, but a powerful mindset shaped by the wisdom of Miyamoto Musashi? In this video, we'll reveal how to harness the same mental strategies that propelled Musashi to greatness, transforming your own mindset to reach new heights. Step 1. Growth mindset. The growth mindset is a crucial aspect of having a high achiever attitude, as it emphasizes the importance of hard work and persistence in improving skills and intelligence. High achievers, like warrior Miyamoto Musashi, view self-mastery as a never-ending path that requires constant improvement and learning from mistakes. They see every loss as an opportunity to learn and every mistake as a way to improve in the future. To develop a growth attitude, one must take on new tasks and leave their comfort zone. Musashi fought many duels to test his skills and learn from the experience, and high scorers follow this same path by dedicating time and effort to improve their skills over time. They are open to feedback and always looking for ways to get better, learning from others, whether it's a teacher, friend, or rival. To have a growth attitude, one needs to be mentally tough and persistent. High achievers are strong enough to keep going even when things go wrong, knowing that getting ahead doesn't happen in a straight line, and that they need to be persistent and able to change their plans when problems arise. To apply Musashi's lessons and the ideas of a growth mindset to one's own life, one must change the way they look at things. Instead of thinking of skills as set, one should know that they can change and get better. Take on challenges as chances to learn, and see mistakes as lessons that will make you better in the long run. Believing that you can always improve is essential for creating the attitude of a great achiever. To do this, take on every task with an open mind, a strong will, and a readiness to learn. This will not only help you get better, but also give you the strength and determination you need to be great. Step 2. Goal-oriented. High achievers are defined by their focus on their goals, which provide direction, meaning, and drive in their lives. This is exemplified by Miyamoto Musashi, who set his goals as driving principles that shaped his entire life. High achievers live with purpose, always looking for something better and having a well-thought-out plan to get there. To create a goal-oriented attitude, one must first set clear, measurable goals. This involves breaking down big goals into doable steps, such as hitting a specific cash goal, learning a skill, or making a personal breakthrough. High achievers also ensure that these goals are difficult but attainable, pushing themselves past their comfort zones and encouraging growth without causing anger or stress. Planning is another crucial aspect of having clear goals. Successful people make a thorough plan for how they will reach their goals, dividing the journey into smaller jobs that fit together to make the bigger picture. This planning not only makes the goals seem more achievable, but also gives a sense of growth, motivating them to work even harder. A goal-oriented attitude is also based on sticking with something and concentrating. High performers know that success takes hard work over a long period of time, and that problems are just part of the process. They are adaptable, checking in on their success every so often and changing their goals or methods as needed. This gives them the freedom to stay on track even when problems arise. A goal-oriented attitude also helps people feel like they have a deep sense of meaning. High achievers set goals that align with their deeper values and interests, not just about getting rich or getting noticed, but also about making a difference and reaching their full potential. They stay committed to their goals even when the road gets hard, because they have a strong sense of purpose. So, having clear intentions, a plan for success, and a strong commitment to reaching goals are all essential components of being goal-oriented. By setting high standards, planning carefully, and being flexible, one can approach life with the same clarity, focus, and purpose as great achievers. Step 3. Resilience. Being resilient means being able to get back up after problems, losses, or obstacles. This is a quality that everyone who wants to be great needs to have. A high achiever's mind not only handles problems, but also gets better as a result of them. This idea of being strong is strongly connected to the lessons of Miyamoto Musashi. His life was full of fights, trials, and personal losses, but he never let them beat him. Instead, Musashi turned weakness into strength by improving his skills and way of thinking all the time. This made resilience an important part of his path to success. People who are very successful know that they will fail sometimes along the way. Not even Musashi was able to avoid failure. In his early years, he lost, was betrayed, and felt alone. But he never let those things define who he was. His approach was to use each problem as a chance to improve himself and his plan. People who have a high achiever attitude also see loss as a chance to learn and improve, not as a reason to give up. They know that you can become more resilient by meeting problems head-on and learning from them. One important part of being resilient is being able to keep a good attitude, even when the odds are against you. In battle, where he often met opponents who were stronger or had more of them, Musashi showed this over and over again. Still, he stayed cool and collected, adjusting to the situation and coming out on top. Mental toughness is something that high winners like Musashi work on. They know that problems happen all the time and that the only way to solve them is to keep going. They keep going forward with unshakable determination, no matter how hard things get. Emotional management, or being able to control your feelings when things are hard, is another part of being resilient. Musashi said it was important to be in charge of your emotions because feelings like fear, anger, and rage can make it hard to make good choices. High winners follow this concept by learning to handle their emotions well. They don't let bad feelings control what they do or stop them from moving forward. Instead, they stay focused on their goals and deal with problems in a calm and clear way. To be resilient, you need to learn how to change. A big part of Musashi's success was that he could handle different types of fights in different places. Sticking to one way of doing things could make him fail, so he was willing to be creative and open to new ideas. This is how high stars do things. They know that the road to success isn't always a straight line, and that being able to change is very important. They are always flexible and willing to change, whether it's a planned shift, adapting to new situations, or learning from their mistakes. Having a strong sense of purpose is also important for building resilience. Musashi was strong enough to get through hard times because he was always focused on learning the way of the sword. Even high scorers are driven by a strong sense of purpose that keeps them going. It's easy for them to give up when things get tough because they have a clear picture of what they want to achieve. Their purpose is like a rock that keeps them centered and driven, even when things get tough. Making resolve a part of your mind is like Musashi did. It helps you build a strong spirit. You need to know that problems and setbacks are not the end, but rather part of the way to mastery and success. When high achievers are resilient, they can keep going even when things get tough. So they turn hardship into a benefit by learning from their mistakes, adapting, and getting stronger. By working on your resilience, you can give your mind the strength it needs to handle life's ups and downs, coming out stronger and more capable after each struggle. Step 4. Positive self-talk. High achievers use positive self-talk to boost their confidence, get through tough times, and keep their eyes on their goals. This talk with ourselves affects how we see ourselves and our skills, and it can make or break our chances of success. High achievers are in charge of their inner voice and direct their thoughts in ways that help them rather than hurt their progress. They know that the way they talk to themselves changes how they think, what they do, and what happens in the end. The lessons of Miyamoto Musashi show how important it is to control your inner world. Musashi's famous book, The Book of 5 Rings, talks a lot about how important it is to keep your mind in check during war. Musashi thought that the mental side of fighting was just as important as the physical side. Also, successful people know that their thoughts can be both their best friend and worst enemy. By talking positively to themselves, they build a strong, focused, and unwavering mind. Knowing yourself is the first step to positive self-talk. Achievers are very aware of their thoughts and how they affect how they feel and what they do. They pay attention to when bad thoughts come up and try to change them. They don't give in to fear or self-doubt. Instead, they think positive thoughts about their skills and abilities. When they are faced with a tough task, a high achiever might tell themselves, "I can overcome challenges," or "I have succeeded in tough situations before, and I can do it again." This constant reinforcement helps them stay motivated and confident even when things go wrong. Musashi's mindset also stresses how important it is to keep your cool, even when things are getting tough. He knew that letting his bad thoughts get out of hand could cause him to worry, make bad choices, and lose. People who are high achievers keep themselves centered and on track by talking positively to themselves. When things go wrong or problems arise, they tell themselves that failure is a part of growth and that every problem is a chance to learn and get better. This helps them quickly get back on track after failures and keep going forward. Reframing bad events is another part of positive self-talk. People who are very successful know that how they think about things is often more important than the things themselves. Musashi taught that people should see the hard things in life as chances to get better. For instance, a high achiever might change the way they think about, "I failed," to "This is a valuable learning experience that will help me improve." This change in viewpoint helps them stay positive and motivated even when things don't go as planned. Making positive self-talk a part of your daily life takes practice and focus, just like Musashi's strict training in the way of the sword. Athletes who want to do well are aware of their inner conversation and change it when they need to. Affirmations help them stay focused on their goals, enjoy small wins, and keep a happy attitude. As time goes on, they do this without thinking about it, and their attitude turns into a strong tool for success. It's important to make positive self-talk a habit if you want to think like a high achiever. This means that you should always think things that make you feel better instead of ones that make you feel bad. Musashi's wise words teach us that the mind is where success begins, and that if you can control your thinking, you can beat any problem. People who are high achievers know that the way they talk to themselves has a big impact on their world, and they use this knowledge to their benefit. So, positive self-talk is an important part of the thinking of a high achiever. High achievers stay strong and focused on their goals by learning to control their inner voice, changing how they think about bad things that happen, and focusing on their strengths. Musashi taught us that mental control is just as important as physical skill. If we follow this rule in our daily lives, we can reach our full potential and become great. Step 5. Time management. To think and act like a high achiever, one must learn how to manage their time well. Achievers are skilled at planning their days, setting priorities, and making the most of their time. They understand that time cannot be returned, so they use every minute with control and purpose. Miyamoto Musashi, a renowned martial artist, was an excellent example of how to handle time well. Setting clear goals is the first step for great achievers in managing their time. They know what they want and plan their actions to achieve it. They focus on doing things that have a big effect and help them reach their goals. They choose what to do and what not to do, knowing that saying no to things that aren't important is just as important as saying yes to opportunities that are important. Planning and organizing are essential ways to keep track of time. High achievers often break down big goals into smaller, more doable tasks, making steady progress every day. They use tools like calendars, to-do lists, or time blocking to keep things in order. Musashi's lessons stress the importance of planning ahead and being ready. Managing time also means taking breaks and thinking. High workers like Musashi know that if they keep pushing themselves without taking breaks, they will get burned out. They plan time to rest and think every day, because having clear thoughts and lots of energy are important for long-term success. Stopping yourself from putting things off is another important part of managing your time well. High achievers are disciplined enough to start chores right away and keep going, knowing that success comes from making small, steady efforts over time. They don't wait for the right time or let the fear of failure stop them from acting. High achievers can also change how they spend their time. They know that things can change, so they have to make changes to their plans without losing sight of their long-term goals. They can quickly change direction when needed, helping them stay on track, even when life throws them problems they didn't expect. To think like a high achiever, one needs to be good at managing their time. Like Musashi, they see every moment as a chance to get closer to their goals. By making a good plan, setting clear priorities, and keeping discipline, one can make sure that every day brings them one step closer to the life they want. Step 6. Lifelong learning. A key part of having a high achiever attitude is always wanting to learn new things. Even though Miyamoto Musashi was famous for being a great fencer, he never thought his journey was over. He was dedicated to always getting better, and it showed in many areas of his life, not just on the battlefield. Musashi's never-ending quest to become the best at many things shows an important truth. Growth never stops. High learners live by this concept by making a promise to keep learning and getting better. Musashi learned in a way that was both all-encompassing and deep. He wasn't happy just getting better at swordsmanship. He also studied different kinds of art, philosophy, and tactics, and used what he learned in his own work. His theory says that you can only be truly powerful if you learn and combine information from many different areas. Also, high learners know that learning more about other subjects can help them become even better at what they already know. Cross-disciplinary learning helps people be creative and come up with new ideas. It also helps them see links and chances that other people might miss. To develop an attitude of constant learning, start by becoming very curious about everything. People who are very successful are led by a strong desire to learn about the world. They look for solutions and are always looking for new points of view. Musashi was aggressive in his learning. He didn't wait for information to come to him. He went out and got it. To use this preventative method, make sure you have regular time to read, learn about new things, or do things that make you think. So, high learners know that there are other ways to learn besides going to school. Musashi learned just as much from his fights and other life events as from books and masters. This kind of hands-on learning is very important. Do things that get you out of your comfort zone and give you chances to learn from real-life situations. Whether you're taking on difficult projects at work, asking for new jobs, or learning a new skill, these things can teach you a lot that you might not have learned in the usual way. Another important part of ongoing learning is self-reflection. Musashi often thought about what had happened to him and what had gone wrong. High learners make it a habit to regularly evaluate their success and identify areas where they can improve. This practice helps you see trends, figure out your own skills and flaws, and change your plans as needed. Think about the things you've done and the lessons you've learned to keep improving your method and making it more effective. It's also important to network and learn from other people. Getting to know other warriors and students helped Musashi learn. High scorers constantly look for teachers, friends, and experts who can help them and give them new ideas. Spend time with people who push you and motivate you. Take part in workshops, talks, and group projects to learn new things and expand your views. Also, having an attitude of constant learning means being humble and realizing that you can always learn more. This concept is shown by Musashi's modesty as he sought information. As they go through life, high achievers know that success is a process that never ends. As long as they're ready to change and grow, they're open to new ideas. Ultimately, constant learning isn't just about getting more information. It's also about developing an attitude that sees change and growth as ongoing processes. Thinking like Musashi does about learning means that you see every event, task, and encounter as a chance to get better. This attitude of always wanting to learn and being interested will not only improve your skills, but it will also help you be more successful and happy in every part of your life.